So we're here today in the lovely Dunraven Arms Hotel in Adair, County Limerick. Beautiful day. Gardens are looking brilliant, and I'm here with Louis Murphy, so one of the owners of the hotel. So Louis, tell us a little bit about the history first of Dunraven Arms and how you came to be here.
Well, you're very welcome, Alan. Good to have you with us, and Cormac. The hotel was built in 1792. It was owned by the Dunraven family, which owned Adair Manor across the road, which is now owned by Mr. McManus. And how we came to be here was Brian, my brother, who's owner of the hotel with myself and my nephew Hugh, his son, came here in 1977. The Dowager Lady Nancy interviewed him for an assistant manager, and he then was here for 2 years, and he was appointed the general manager, and so he started then in 77. I came and joined him then in 1990, and I was in the Shelburne in Dublin at the time with Trust House 40, and he asked me to come and join him, and I was delighted to join. And at that stage, the hotel Brian was growing it. He had built on extra rooms, but it started when Brian came first. There was 22 rooms, and now we have 90 rooms, which include 24 suites, including that 90 rooms. And a lot of extensions then over the years as well, where we started with the rooms being first. Then we built the leisure centre complex with their swimming pool and gymnasium and treatment rooms. We continued then with more rooms, the junior suites. And finally, our last large extension would have been the conference centre. So we built a purpose-built conference centre with 4 rooms and state-of-the-art equipment, and that is its own independent building to the rear of the hotel with its own private car park, and that's been extremely successful for us. We do an awful lot of in-house conferences. We're very lucky, there's an awful lot of the high-tech businesses in Limerick, and as you know, the med businesses in Ireland, so we'd have a large market that would come and join us for conferences.
Okay, brilliant. That's a great story. And if you could touch on your own story, like what sort of motivated you to get into the hotel industry?
It's funny, it's in the blood, because I'm from Athenry originally, Brian and I, and our grandmother had a hotel in Athenry, which was the Railway Hotel. As you know, in Ireland in the old days, the Great Southerns and hotels were predominantly based around railway stations. So my grandmother had the hotel. Obviously, my mum worked in it. And so that's where it came from initially. And then our uncle, an amazing man who we're very proud of, Rowe Murphy, was managing director of Ashford Castle and Drummolan Castle for many, many years. And Rory is a legend in the hotel industry, not just nationally, but internationally as well. So it was in the blood, and I went to the Shannon Hotel Management College, which Hugh did as well. He was there. Brian went to the Galway, GMIT in Galway. So it's in the blood, the hotel business, as our horses. Our father was a veterinary surgeon in Athenry, and his main practice was the equine practice. So we had a farm in Athenry, so we all rode from a very young age. Brian, my brother, was a very good rider, and he was a very good amateur jockey as well. So hunting, we were very lucky to have hunted with the Galway Blazers when we were young. Very famous pack. And then when I came down here, I then hunted with the County Limerick Foxhounds. And equestrian activities are a huge part of our business here as well. Because of Brian and myself, our interest, and Hugh, all 3 of us have ridden, hunted and ridden. And so we have a big part of the business in the wintertime where we'll actively have equestrian holidays for people, predominantly from the UK and from the States. And they come here on hunting holidays and equestrian holidays all around the country.
Okay, it's brilliant. And it's great that you're actually integrating something that's a passion for yours into the hotel, and it gives a lot more of an experience for the people who come here, and a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very proud of the fact that it's a family-run operation with Hugh, Brian and myself. Family-run hotels are not as common in Ireland as they were in the old days. Obviously, a lot of big groups and a lot of chains are in Ireland now. But you know, you have famous hotels around the country, such as the Brennan Brothers down in Kenmare and many others around the country. We're very proud to be a family-run hotel. We're very proud to sell that to all our clients around the world. There's always a Murphy here when you come through the door, and guests love that. They know there'll be one of us here. They'll have the greeting with all our superb team, and that they'll get that personal attention. And we take it very personally, Hugh, Brian, and I. And it's a very important part of our history here in the hotel.
Excellent. And what else, as well as that you have in the hotel, that's just sort of unique that enhances the guest experience?
Well, the fact that it's an old hotel, and we've predominantly spent an awful lot of time and money keeping the heritage of the hotel. You know, we call it an old equestrian style country inn hotel, and we keep that. You'll see all around the hotel we've antique paintings, antique furniture, we've equestrian paintings all around the hotel, and we've just embarked over the last number of years. Most of our bedrooms now, there's only a handful left to do, with beautiful mahogany floors right throughout the hotel. And we've beautiful antique four-poster beds, half-tester beds in our rooms. And we give a wonderful sort of old world, but with modern amenities in the bedrooms and throughout the hotel. And the most important thing then is we have a wonderful staff here. You know, we've staff that have been with us. Dennis, who's in the restaurant, and our restaurant manager is with us over 44 years. And we've a host of people over throughout the hotel that have been with us for an awful long time. And we're very proud of that. They're a wonderful team. You're only as good as the people that are working for you. And we've a lot of young staff, but we've a lot of experienced staff that look after them, train them, and ensure that the customers get a very unique service with us.
Yeah, excellent. And how have you found that? I mean, the story that you've talked there from the Murphy involvement is going back to the mid 80s. So how have you found that customers' expectations have changed, and how have you sort of adapted to that, and how are you staying at the forefront of your business? Because you certainly are.
Yeah, it's you know, we're hotels, and we do have to adapt and change. But one of the big things we see now is food provenance is very important. Major USP for us here is that it's been here as long as I can remember. Brian introduced it here. Is we have a beautiful silver trolley in the restaurant. We carve the beef, prime roast rib of Irish beef, which comes from Tipperary, and the rib of beef, we cook them every evening. They go on the trolley. When our staff take an order for the rib of beef, our guests are asked, would you like rare, medium, or well done? And we bring the trolley to the table, and it's carved by Hugh or Dennis or myself, and it's carved at the table. And that's a really unique selling point. Yeah. I had a very wonderful story a few years back. A gentleman from England, a retired gentleman, businessman, and he used to have it in Simpsons on the Green, and they stopped doing it. And he'd heard we had it, and he came from England, stayed for 4 nights, and had beef every night because he loved the idea of the beef being carved in the restaurant. And that's really important. And as I said, food provenance is one of the key unique selling points we have here, but also in Ireland. The quality of food that we produce in Ireland is second to none. We're an island. We have wonderful fish suppliers, vegetable suppliers, and as I said, our beef is just second to none. It's all grass-fed, and that is a unique feature we offer, as all the hotels in Ireland do in the restaurants, and that's where we beat other countries hands down. It's a very important area of marketing for us, and I know Bord Fáilte and Fáilte Ireland sell that throughout the world with the quality of the food and the product we offer.
Okay, excellent. And I know we were chatting beforehand, and there's a lot of excitement now building up to the Ryder Cup, because the Ryder Cup is going to be played in the US this year, but in 2 years' time, it's coming to Adair. Yeah, so that must be massive for you guys.
We're very excited. We're very fortunate that Mr. McManus, JP McManus, and his family have the Ryder Cup coming to Adair Manor, which is just opposite the hotel here, which, as I mentioned earlier, this hotel was formerly owned by the Dunraven family. So the McManus family have very fortunately brought the Ryder Cup, which is coming in September 2027. And we're lucky that the Ryder Cup has us as one of their hotels for the duration of the event. It's going to be massive. It's going to be the biggest sports event in 2027 on the planet. We'll have guests coming from all over the world. There'll be thousands of people setting it all up in advance of the event. Thousands of people who will come in from all over the world. And then to remember as well that when it's all over, I'm a golfer myself, and golfers will travel from all over the world to play a Ryder Cup course. I've done it myself in Gleneagles, and they will travel. So the legacy of the Ryder Cup is going to stay in Adair, stay in Ireland for many years to come. Golfing is a huge business in Ireland with the American and international markets. We have some of the best golf courses, as you know, in Ireland, but particularly in the southwest, from Adair Manor to Lahinch, Ballybunion, Doonbeg, and all up Connemara and Donegal. So it is a big part of our business here. So we would work with a lot of the big operators, such as Car Golf here in Ireland, and Jerry Quinlan in the States, and many, many others. And they bring tours in, they stay with us. We're unique and lucky in that they use us as a central point with which to go out to golf courses every day. They first of all fly into Shannon, which is only half an hour from here, which is again a major asset to us in the southwest. So they stay here then for 4, 5, 6 nights and travel every day to the golf courses. At most, it's 2 hours to, say, Old Head, to Waterville, but you've Ballybunion 45 minutes away, you've an hour and a half to Lahinch, an hour and a half to Doonbeg. So we're very lucky. That's a huge part of our business as well.
You know, Adair obviously has appeal. It's winning Tidy Towns of the Year, the Ryder Cup. So how else does that work for you?
Well, it's a unique village. It has the title of Ireland's prettiest village. As you've seen many times, there's a beautiful array of thatched cottages as you enter the village on the left-hand side. And it's such a well-kept village. There's wonderful people in the village from the Adair Tidy Towns and the various committees that make sure it's maintained and kept to the highest level. The amenities we have are just superb for such a small village. There's 3 hotels in the village, and all 3 privately owned, family-run hotels. There's Clonshire Equestrian Centre, 10 minutes from here. And there's developments which have just opened up, which is the pavilion with the new pitches that have opened up in the last number of years. And the pavilion is magnificent. And they're now in the process of building paddle tennis courts up there. And there's an all-weather soccer pitch up there. And then all around, we've wonderful visitor attractions as well, such as Curragh Chase and then you go to Bunratty, where you have the folk park, etc. And it's half an hour, as I mentioned to you, from Adair. So it's the main route when heading south to the south of Ireland for Killarney and the Listowels, and you must go through Adair, albeit now we have the bypass, which is wonderful, being built at the moment, and that will be ready for the Ryder Cup in 27. And that's going to help the village by virtue that the village won't have the heavy vehicles going through. So you'll be able to pull up in the village, enjoy the amenities of the village. There's wonderful shops, there's a host of restaurants, and there's actually only today another new cafe opened up today. So there's a host of facilities there for people to come in and enjoy en route heading down south. And we're very fortunate to live and have the hotel in such a good village with a wonderful community. So many of our wonderful staff in the hotel are all living in the village. They're from the village and they're from the surrounding areas. And we pride ourselves on the wonderful team we have. And not all are from the village, but obviously a large number are.
Okay.
Super.
And, I think we're working together as a partnership for the last maybe 8 or 9 years. And how have you found that working for you?
Alan, we've been working with you for it's over 8 years now. And it's been a revelation for us, very important for us. The rooms business and the room revenue is a very important part of any hotel. So what's really important there is that the websites, that the booking engines are all of the highest spec, that are kept up to the highest standard, And we've worked with you on that in your company for all these years, and we found it excellent. Any issues we've had are sorted out immediately. But what's really important is that the content that we're promoting and that you're promoting on our behalf as well is of the highest standard. And that's what sells the rooms, as well as the good product that we offer as well. So we're very happy to be working with you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Louis. That was very good. Yeah,
Pleasure.
okay.
Well done.